How's everyone doing? I just got an awesome Mailday, some Blu-ray replacement cases, and some movies. So if you've seen any of these movies, definitely let me know what you think of them, and let me know what was your favorite in here as well. But I got that Blu-ray replacement cases off of Amazon. I think it was like 30 in here for 15 bucks, so that is friggin' awesome. And here you go. That's what they look like. Pretty simple, pretty worth the price point as well. I've got a few ones from Blockbuster I want to replace the casements for because they came in like the DVD size cases. I think a lot of people weren't aware you could take the paper sleeve out and just put it in a Blu-ray replacement case. You never know it came from Blockbuster. And I was thinking about putting doing like custom DVDs as well. Essentially some DVD, or custom Blu-rays rather, essentially taking some DVDs that don't have Blu-ray releases and cutting them to fit into the Blu-ray sleeve. I just think they look better, it saves space. I dig it, so that's what I'm going to do. I saw some other people doing that before. I like that idea, and I'll do an update video when I do that in the future. I know some people are against it, but I just think it looks better in the Blu-ray case, and it saves space as well because DVDs are thicker. But let's get into the movies. First up, a couple 4K titles in here. First up is The Commuter, which I don't know if the foily effect can pick up on here, but a really nice foil effect on the slipcover right there. And this is directed by Jean-Colette Serra, who's worked a lot with Liam Neeson before. He did Nonstop, he did Unknown, and he did Run All Night with Liam Neeson. And this also stars Vera Farmiga, who Jean-Colette Serra has also worked with her in The Orphan. So he tends to work with people that he's worked with before and feels comfortable with. But Jean-Colette Serra has also directed a House of Wax remake, which actually the Vincent Price one was a remake too, but the one with Paris Hilton. I actually really enjoyed that one, even though it gets a lot of hate. I thought it was very entertaining. And he also did The Shallows, which I really enjoyed. That's actually the movie that got me into 4K and made me really appreciate the difference between 1080p and the 4K. It was just such an amazing, immersive experience in 4K. I'm looking forward to checking this one out. I haven't seen the movie, but it looks like a typical recent Liam Neeson film. Darkman. It's always about Darkman. That's like my old school Liam Neeson right there, but he's been around for like forever. I really enjoyed Walk Among the Tombstones. I think that was actually really underrated for a recent Liam Neeson action movie. And The Grey is one of my favorites from him too. But this one, I guess they're on a train and he's part of some kind of, or they're Vera Farmiga, who's been around for such a long time. It's great to see her getting a lot of notoriety now with Bates Motel. But big fan of hers. But apparently she tells him about this criminal conspiracy on this train that could possibly like kill everybody on the train, I think, from what I gather from the synopsis in the trailer. It looks like it's going to be action-packed, and it's funny because it says in this action-packed thriller, Liam Neeson stars as Michael, an insurance salesman, and on the back it looks like he's a trained assassin right there. So it's basically like every Liam Neeson synopsis for the past like 10 years or something. Liam Neeson suddenly thrown into an action chaotic thriller, but looking forward to checking it out. I do like some of those action movies that he's been in, and it seems to be in apt hands since he's worked, the director's worked with Liam Neeson a bunch. They've done a lot of those kind of similar themed ones. This one I'm really excited for. I've been, Westerns didn't used to be like one of my favorite genres, but recently I've seen some amazing Westerns, and even some Western horror. Like The Burrowers, a very underrated horror movie. I never hear anybody talk about that one. And even Bone Tomahawk, which I don't think is underrated, but really good. And if you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out, from the same director as Brawl and Cell Block 99 with Vince Vaughn. So definitely check out Bone Tomahawk and Burrowers. But this one, Hostels, again, Western's been amazing lately, but this stars Christian Bale, Rosamund Pike, and Wes Studi, who has been in Last Mohicans. That's what, like, he's been in a ton of movies, but that's like my favorite performance from him. Last Mohicans is one of my all-time favorite movies. That climax scene on the waterfall, the cliff right there, so phenomenal. Cinematic masterpiece. But this one right here, I guess it's set in 1892. Christian Bale is a legendary army captain, and he's reluctantly taking a Cheyenne war chief, a dying Cheyenne war chief, I guess across some parts of from army outposts in New Mexico to the grasslands of Montana, and they, I guess, go through all these different people trying to attack them. Comanche, former rivals enter, and they also, they're former rivals, and they also encounter a young widow, Rosamund Pike, who I can't, after Gone Girl, I just can't picture her, you know, without that kind of performance in that role. And she's been around for a long time too. She was in Doom, but she's been in a ton of roles. But since that performance, it's like ingrained in my mind. Oh yeah, I wanted to say too, I really liked Vera Farmiga in Departed. That was a really good film overall, but I liked her performance in there too. But yeah, back to this one. So this one looks like, yeah, they're trying to travel through the terrain, going through the punishing landscape, hostile Comanches, and vicious outliers. So I don't. Again, it just seemed like a kind of a survival movie. I like the cast in here a lot, and again, I like the Western theme too. So looking forward to checking that one out. And oh, this was the director on this too has done some good things. Scott Cooper. He did Out of the Furnace, which is such an amazing film. He did Crazy Heart, which I did enjoy that one as well. I like depressing movies again. And he also did Black Mass. Definitely enjoyed all of those films. Out of the Furnace is my favorite of the bunch, though. Johnny Depp was really good in Black Mass. I think he deserved some Oscar recognition for that role. I thought it was a really, he just changed into that role, Boston gangster role. But I definitely enjoyed the director and looking forward to checking that one out. Next up is Den of Thieves. This really surprised me. This is, I believe, the directorial debut of Christian Gudgast, who wrote, I think it was London Has Fallen or Olympus, one of those ones with Gerard Butler, one of those action, explosion, president-involved movies. So I think he's done some like action kind of writing stuff, but they've already actually greenlit a Den of Thieves 2, which I'm looking forward to. This one really surprised the heck out of me. I didn't hear anybody talk about this movie. Just kind of flew under the radar, and way better than I was expecting. It's a long movie, and deservedly so. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes long. There's an unrated version on here too. There's also an alternate ending, some good special features on here, from what I can tell anyways. Looking forward to delving more into that. But it has Gerard Butler, Pablo Schreiber, who was really good in 13 Hours, and he's phenomenal in this one. O'Shea Jackson Jr., who looks just like his father. And then 50 Cent right there. But a really good supporting cast. There's one of the actors from The Walking Dead is in here too. He could have had a bigger role, but he was really good. But this one, again, it's a heist movie. It's a little convoluted, but you have to kind of, you know, throw that out the window. It's one of those things with any of these kind of ones, you have to do that essentially with any kind of heist, or the majority of movies in general. But yeah, basically this group of criminals, bank robbers, they do all these really intricate bank robberies, and they're trying to take down this one bank, this is like a Federal Reserve kind of one that nobody's ever been able to do, and they're trying to take that off and take that on. And then these major crimes unit right here, headed by Big Nick, Gerard Butler. There's some cliche moments like the hotel scene. It just seemed a little too much. Like they're just playing up stereotypes and cliches. Like, you know, they're badass gang of cops taking down these badass gang of criminals, and they're just, some of it was too stereotypical. But overall, one of the things I really appreciated about it was the time limit for it, because it really fleshed out the characters. Great character-driven heist movie. You really get an idea of who they are, what they're going through, like their backstories, and their, you know, Gerard Butler and his wife getting a divorce, different things like that, and just how they knew each other. And I love the twist at the ending. It was almost, I don't want to give it away, but I was expecting like a little Kevin Spacey-esque walking differently kind of thing. I loved the way it should have ended really right there, and then they kind of went a little bit too far with it, with the next scene playing out with O'Shea Jackson Jr. And yeah, that was, you know, a little minor criticism, but I really enjoyed it. Much better than I was expecting it to be for a you know, typical heist movie. It looked like it was just going to be action overload, but just the character development was one of the things I really appreciated about this one. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. And again, there are some, you know, little plot things there that, you know, you have to kind of, you know, look past essentially. But I definitely would recommend if you like action movies and heist movies. Next up is Backstabbing for Beginners. Haven't seen this one, but I'm really looking forward to it. Jacqueline Bisset, Theo James, and Ben Kingsley, based on a true story. It's I guess, kind of a mystery thriller. A UN employee investigates a grisly murder of his predecessor, and I guess uncovers a vast global conspiracy that may involve his boss. So yeah, I guess there's something about Iraq oil and stuff like that, and the murder of the person that he's taking the position of. So definitely intrigued about this one. Next up was an import. This is from Umbrella, releasing a lot of really good films over in Australia, a lot of region-free ones, which this is region-free. So souped on that. Road Games, which might be my favorite Australian horror movie. It's more thriller, but it has enough of the horror elements in there to be considered horror. It's Stacy Keach and Jamie Lee Curtis, and it's like the majority of it is them driving through desolate areas in the outback, and there's a serial killer. I love the heck out of this film. So atmospheric, so well crafted, and suit to have this on Blu-ray. And I do like that they have the reversible cover in here, so you don't have to look at that gaudy like rating symbol. Which one of the things I like about living in America, you don't have to worry about those tacky looking logo ratings, which is basically in every other country, I think. I know Germany has a big obtrusive square. The UK has those different symbols. This one's actually smaller. A lot of the Australian ones used to be a lot bigger, like huge. But I like that you could reverse it and make sure that it's not on there, which I'm going to go ahead and do right now. So I definitely appreciate that. And Umbrella is a company I definitely want to look more into and check out more of the releases. I know they recently released Silver Bullet, one of my favorite werewolf movies. So I would definitely recommend Road Games. Trying to remember what year, 1981. Let me know what your favorite Australian horror movie is. I think Wolf Creek is obviously getting a lot of love. I really like the sequel too. Haven't checked out the TV show yet, but I plan to. And I actually got a chance to interview John Jarrett a long time ago, and he was, of course, the killer in Wolf Creek. But I really like Storm Warning. I never hear anybody talk about Storm Warning. That's one that I think is kind of underrated. In what's the recent one, The Loved Ones? That's one that definitely deserves a Blu-ray release too. Such a phenomenal film. Storm Warning doesn't have a, at least not that I'm aware of, a Region A compatible Blu-ray release. So yeah, Storm Warning and The Loved Ones definitely deserve Blu-ray releases, but very happy for Road Games. And next up, this is from VCI, and it's released through MVD, and this is Twilight People, which looks crazy. It's kind of I guess like an Island of Dr. Moreau kind of film. Diver is plucked from the sea and taken to this island or this island fortress of Dr. Gordon, and he becomes part of the Doctor's diabolical experiments to create a race of super people. And I guess it's so far there's been terrifying and hideous creatures, human guinea pigs, freed by the Doctor's own daughter, and turns into a bloodbath of revenge and terror. Like there's like the Panther Woman, which is played by Pam Grier. It's like an early role from her, where she doesn't actually a non-speaking role. This is from 1972. So yeah, she plays was the Panther Woman, I think it was. Panther Girl, Panther Woman, no, Panther Woman, yeah. So yeah, it sounds crazy. I like the Island of Dr. Moreau kind of, and this is a Blu-ray DVD combo pack, which I dig. Unique artwork, newly commissioned artwork as well. And there's the old school artwork, which I don't know, I'm kind of torn. Like this one has the color right there, but I like the color scheme for that one. It's basically the same cover, but with this one has more colors in here, but I kind of dig that one. I'm kind of torn. Let me know, do you like this like kind of washed out bluish purple look for the cover, or the super colorful cover right there? Let me know. I'm torn on that one, but this sounds outrageous and fun and ridiculous. So I'll be checking this one out soon for sure. And this is remastered in 2K from a 35mm negative for the first time in widescreen. So there you go. Those are the Blu-ray pickups, 4K titles, and again the Blu-ray replacement cases. Let me know what you think about doing these custom Blu-ray covers. I'll go ahead and show you. I did one already, and I know a lot of people were against cutting the DVDs. Like, here's the DVD case, obviously thicker right there than the Blu-ray case. But here's one that I did because I had this one and the back UPC was already damaged. So I was like, it's already, the artwork's already damaged. But I think that looks so much better to me. I just think that looks great. The spine works too. So it's perfect. I love it. I'm a big fan of this movie too. The Fat Boys back in the day, some old school rap, beatboxing and stuff like that. This was a super cheesy, fun comedy movie. I think this had a Warner this had a this DVD was a Warner DVD, but then they did like a Warner Archive release DVD of it, I think. But yeah, I would love to see an actual legitimate Blu-ray release for it. But for now, I think that just looks better. You get this much is what I cut off from the bottom. You get a little bit right there, the artwork cut off, but the part where it says DVD, you know, you get that cut off. So I don't know, I think that looks awesome. Let me know what you think. I dig it. And again, I'm probably going to do that for a few other ones that don't have Blu-ray releases already. Let me know what you think about that as well. I know a lot of people last time I did like a live stream, I was asking about it, people were saying, no, don't do it. I went ahead and did it, and I like the outcome, so I'm going to do it some more with some other releases that don't have, or other movies that don't have Blu-ray releases yet, like The Beach, True Lies, Open Range, Higher Learning, I'm trying to remember, Harlem Nights, like there's like a whole bunch of movies that deserve Blu-ray releases. That's a video I'm going to do in the future too, movies that need Blu-ray releases. Let me know what movies you think deserve a Blu-ray release that don't have it already. And there you go, that's everything. Hope everybody is doing well and enjoying this weather. It's been like in the 80s the past couple days. Tomorrow's supposed to be a high of 45 though. But enjoying it while it lasts. Mother Nature is a little crazy right now, but hopefully it'll settle out. And take care.